Hi everybody, how are you today? Today we're going to get into a subject that a lot of people have asked me about. The real cost of living a nomadic life. Not the glammed up cost, but the real ones. See you in a minute. Get that coffee. Have you ever woke up and wondered what was wrong with you? You knew you wanted to be elsewhere, that there was more to life than the life you were living, more than the bills you were paying, the job you were keeping. Look to the horizon, to the sunsets. Your answer is there. Put your feet on the ground and take a deep breath and step into the nomadic lifestyle. You will not regret it. We're back. Before we get started today, I would like to thank you all for viewing, for subscribing, liking, and sharing. I would like to give a shout out to Mr. Mark. Thank you, Mr. Mark. It'll go toward my van. Yes. Just saying, that's a secret. But anyway, today we're going to talk about real RV expenses, being a boondocker. Not the glammed up prices that Carolyn wants you to believe that it cost her $6,000 a month to live in the middle of nowhere in a paid-off rig, or the lady who claims to only spend $250 a month to live in her van. So without further ado, and I want you guys to understand something, these are generalized and they're used off of what I spent, okay? But I'm going to give you, I went high end on all of these, but I'm going to give you the breakdowns. Let's get into it. I know, right? Okay, first of all, I told you guys how to get from one place to another by routing your way down from point A to point B. In other words, travel 35 miles, spend 10 days, travel 35 miles, spend 10 days, yada, yada, yada. And that is the cheapest way to travel as a nomad. Now, so for gas in your RV, there was a 2-week period that I would only spend $20. And this is after your initial fill-up, okay? Because my initial fill-up in my Class C was like $85, okay? So I'm going to estimate that gas for your RV for a full month is going to run you $20 to $100. Now, when I got my total, I used the 100 because everybody travels differently. And I don't know how fast you want to get there. Just saying. I was in no hurry. Most nomads are not in a hurry. Okay, gas for my generator. I've had so many people tell me how expensive gas for generators are. Baloney. I had 3 5-gallon cans, and I had a 2-gallon can and a 1-gallon can. And I would fill those up, and that would cost me at the time, I think gas was like $2.09 a gallon. It would cost me anywhere from $30 to $60 a month, depending on how much I use my generator. We're going to go with the high end of that, okay, guys? We're going to go with 60. Okay, food for one person, and you can feed 2 like you can feed 1. And you guys, mind you, I'm very frugal. So in this food cost, I've also added my dog food, my cleaning supplies, my toilet paper, my paper towels, my drinks, not water, but drinks, soda, tea, coffee, creamer, yada, yada, yada. So $200 a month is for food with all that other stuff put in it. And you know what? There were months I didn't even spend that much. Being frugal helps. Okay, I shop the sales. I eat the sales. Okay, next is propane. I kid you not, you guys, you can find propane at really cheap prices. One place, I found it for 90 cents a gallon, I kid you not, and that was at an RV center in Cottonwood. That cost me, that time, it was like $10 to fill up my 25-gallon tank. No, I didn't have a 25-gallon tank in that one. I had a 10-gallon tank in that RV. So it would cost me anywhere from $10 to $25 to fill up my tank, because I always filled it up whenever I went into town. That way I kept it topped off. Now, in the summertime, the only things that I used my propane was to run my refrigerator, my hot water heater, and cook with. And with that being said, I never ran out, you guys, ever, ever, ever. So we're going to go high end on propane at $30 a month. Okay, laundry is an expense that you cannot forget about. Now, you can do laundry by hand, and it's going to be a lot cheaper. But anytime you go to a laundromat, and as a nomad, you're pretty much stuck unless you've got your own washer and dryer, you're going to spend $20 to $30 a month. Now, if you've got 1 or 2 loads, you're still looking at about $10 because it's like $2.75 to wash and $2 to dry. It can get very expensive. I did go to Home Depot and purchased me a drying rack so that when I did wash my clothes by hand, I had something to dry them on. When I would be running low on money, I could always wash them at the laundry room and take them out to the desert with me to dry. They dry fast, of course. But anyway, so for laundry, you guys, I estimated $20 to $30 a month. Oil and antifreeze. That's oil for your rig and oil for your generator and antifreeze, which you shouldn't have to buy very often. I put $10 a month because oil is about $3.75 a quart now, and you need 2 different kinds. One for your generator and one for your vehicle. Bottled water. At the high end, I spent $15 a month. Now, that wasn't only filling up my gallon jugs with the twist, not the top, the twist on top, but little bottles. I always made sure I had 2 cases of water in my rig at all times. Now, I'm averaging 15 a month, which is really high, but I went to high end on all of this, you guys, okay, to show you the real cost. Okay, chemicals for your black tank. Now, you're going to get, I ended up using the liquid chemicals, and it would cost me about $10 for 6 weeks supply. So when I say $5, I cut that in half. Okay, I cut the chemicals in half. You got to have chemicals, guys. Just saying. Okay, so chemicals for your black tank, $5 a month. Okay, the total for the gas for your generator, your $200 a month for food, your propane, your laundry, your oil and antifreeze, your waters, and your chemicals. That comes to $500 even. That's the high end, you guys. Low end is $320. I'm just saying. So you're going to add to this your insurance per month for your rig and your registration divided by 12 for your rig to be able to come with a more realistic amount that it's going to cost you every month. And always, always, always add an emergency fund to that. Your emergency fund can be $50, $100. I always tried to put away $75 to $100 for my emergency fund simply because the tires on my rig were $120, $130 out the door for one tire. I always wanted to make sure that I had the money left over for a tire if I needed it. And we know I needed it a couple times. So when we add registration and insurance, and I paid about $165 for the 2 of them, divided by 12. So I took my $500, I added $165, and I added $100 for emergency fund. My total is $775. That is realistic as it gets, you guys. And that's for a 30-foot Class C RV. Now, I've told you ways to save money on the beginning, on the gas for your rig. I mean, I went high end at $100, but there were times I only spent $30 a month. I'm just saying, if you travel only 25 or 30 miles, you're using 1 or 2 gallons of gas. You won't be spending that kind of money. There's so many ways, you guys, to be frugal. To be frugal in keeping your costs down. But you've got to remember that you've got to have that backup emergency fund. You've got to, because we've talked about emergencies coming up with sicknesses, emergencies coming up with breakdowns. Those emergencies have to come out of your pocket. As a nomad, that's your house. You have to maintain your house, just like you would in a stick and brick. And you guys, don't let these nomads get on there and beg you out of your money to fix their tranny. How many trannies can break down in 1 month? I mean, really. New tires. How many new tires do they need for new rigs? You know, it amazes me that they don't have enough money to fix their tranny, but they have enough money to go buy a new rig. Just saying. So anyway, I hope that this helps you guys, give you a clearer idea of what you actually will spend as a nomad out boondocking. Now, if you're going to add in an RV site at $25 a day, add it in accordingly. Some people make good retirement money, and some, like most of us, barely make ends meet. But you can do it. You can absolutely do it. And as you're out there learning to be a real nomad, you will learn how to cut your own corners. I'm just saying. Anyway, I hope you guys have a blessed day. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped. And whatever you do, don't believe those Glam'Mads. Quit sending them money so they get a brand new rig and you're stuck in